All right. Episode 3. Grading. Slabbies. Slabby patties. Slabberoonies. Slabs. Graded cards. That's what we're doing. Noah, how are you?
Jordan, I'm doing unbelievable. Just played 18 holes of golf. Took a shower. It is almost 9 at night. I am thrilled to be talking about some NASCAR slabs today.
I like it. I hope by the end of this episode we have more people excited and jacked up on Mountain Dew to talk about NASCAR slabs. That is the main goal today. If you're joining us for episode 3 and you have listened to episodes 1 and 2, you're an absolute goat and a legend. And I hope you've already hit the subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Hit that bell because you don't want to miss any of this greatness. We appreciate you listening. Based on what we've seen, you guys are listening to us ramble, so we're going to continue to do this for you. We did get some good feedback on this episode. A lot of people had some questions and things they wanted to hear about. So you're going to hear some of that as we go through. But we're really going to focus on one big thing, and that is graded NASCAR cards, or slabs, as most call them, in the hobby. And what you can expect from this is we're going to tell you a little bit about the companies that are out there, where it came from, what they do, what the costs are. We're going to give you a little bit of guidance on how to choose those companies. We're even going to talk a little bit about the slabbing, what's the word?
Process?
Yeah, the process. We'll tell you about some of our personal experiences, good and bad. And then when it comes to buying, selling, trading with a slabbed card, what to expect. It's a little bit of a different animal, especially in the NASCAR world. It's a newer thing, I think, now. It's picking up speed. But that's what you're in for. That's what we're really going to focus on here. So first and foremost, what is grading? It's exactly what it sounds like. You submit a card to a professional company. They evaluate certain specs of the certain cards you send in. They assign a grade tier to it, and then they encase it so that it can never be, well, not never, so that you don't have to worry about its condition again until it ever leaves that slab, if you were to crack it out, etc. So they seal it and encase it and assign a grade to it on a scale to 10, 10 being the best. I've seen cards all the way down to a 1, and so on. You can grade autos, you can grade the card, you can do both. You can even have a card put in a slab and just have them authenticate an autograph that you got in person at the track, which seems to be getting a little more popular as well. So grading, from my understanding, was developed. PSA, Beckett, SGC are the three big boys. You're going to hear a lot about them today. Beckett started back in 1984. They're out of Texas. You also have PSA, started in 1991, and then SGC came along in 1998. Pardon me. Those are the three. Thank you. The triple crown of grading, in my opinion. I'm sure Noah will weigh in here tonight on what he thinks on some of these companies, as will I. But those are typically your three big boys. Some of the other notable companies out there, you have CSG, Certified Sports Guarantee, HGA, which is Hybrid Grading Approach, ISA, International Sports Authentication, and GMA, which is Gem Mint Graded or Grading. Those are probably your top 7 you're going to see when you're looking for cards to buy.
There's one more you could mention. They're new, but you can mention tag grading.
Yep, tag grading. I forgot about that.
I don't have much to say about them, but that's another one that may come in a few years.
Weren't they out at the Burbank show?
They were, and the company decided to harass me in my DMs when I criticized their VIP package.
Really?
And they had another shill who works for the company in my DMs saying why their $150 tag, which is the same price as the VIP for the National, mind you, why it is somehow worth it. And they were trying to say that one free graded card and like a few stickers was somehow $150. It was unbelievable.
How much is it normally to grade a card with tag? I'm honestly not familiar with their process.
I don't know. It was probably like the other ones, $20 maybe.
Gotcha.
That's a different story that I had.
Was that like an all-day pass or like a weekend pass or what?
It was like the 3-day pass you would get to go. Maybe it was 4 days. I can't remember how long the show was. It was no, I think it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show, but you also got 1 hour early access. Like, who cares about one early hour? Like, I had friends who were set up, so I was in the show early, and like you did not. Maybe you needed it for Saturday because there was a lot of people there Saturday, like kids. But sorry, we're getting off topic.
No, no,
Go back
this
to
is
rating.
important because this company, this grading company Tag, was sponsoring the VIP passes for the Burbank show. You went,
Correct.
and then where did you post about this, on Instagram or what?
Yeah, I posted on my. Here, I can check my phone. I posted about it on Instagram, and maybe made some snarky comment like, "How is this close to worth $150?" I did something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was,
Does
but
seem a
they
little
didn't
high.
like it. Actually, it was sorry. It's in my request. I never responded to them. I don't think. Oh,
Left
I
them on
can't find
red.
them. I can't find. I
That's
can't
fine.
find them anymore.
Well, at the end of the day, I don't really think a grading company should be firing back at anybody with criticism. They should just smile
Well,
and
to be
nod
honest,
and
I don't know how they. It's not like I even tagged them. I think I only like on Instagram where you can take a photo and you can like put it on your story and put a
yeah,
comment
yeah,
under it.
yeah.
That's all I did. I didn't even like tag them or anything.
Gotcha.
No pun
Still,
intended.
still a weird flex by Tag. Anywho, yeah, they're definitely a newer company. Clearly, still have some growing pains to get through. It sounds like, we are going to tell you a little bit about a few companies to absolutely stay away from. In our professional opinion, they are garbage, trash, not good. Yeah. So with that, that's kind of a list of the available graders that are out there. I personally have sent to SGC many times via personal drop off at the National and also through some group submissions on our Facebook group, JW Breaks. I have also submitted cards previous through a different submitter who I only sent two with. There were some Diamondbacks cards last year, or actually 2 years ago. Not the best experience. We won't talk about that. But as far as you go, your personal Noah, what experience do you have with grading, specifically NASCAR for now? And which company did you go with? What did you find when you started that process?
I've always naturally gravitated toward PSA, so I can speak mostly to PSA. Now I've graded with SGC, but not NASCAR, so I don't know. I'll talk about that a little bit, but not as much as I want to. So PSA, I would say I've graded. Um, I don't know how many slabs. I would say maybe 30 to 40 NASCAR slabs or cards with PSA and got them back. I'm pretty comfortable with their process, which is why I still use them. I also think PSA has the highest resale. It's a little bit different with NASCAR compared to other sports. As other sports, no question, PSA does have the highest sales. NASCAR, SGC probably couldn't get close to them just because not as much is graded by them. But yeah, I use PSA. I like the slab. The slab's iconic. I like him how it's so super uniform. I think the Beckett slab is my favorite, the cleanest, but their company is a joke to me. We'll get to them when I get to them. But yeah, graded with PSA, nothing but great things to say. I think we'll probably get to it, but some of their weaknesses, I would say, are SGC strong suit, and some of SGC's strong suit or weaknesses are PSA strong suits.
Okay.
So they kind of are like they kind of clash. It's kind of a yin yang type of thing with them. I feel like.
So they
Whereas
coexist
Beckett's,
okay? They both have
yeah,
their
whereas Beckett's the
positives?
background. Beckett's the background. Nobody really cares about. But
Okay, gotcha.
but.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we'll get into this further, but the stuff I grade with PSA is gonna be kind of a lot of lower numbered stuff. I would have to go look through my slabs, but I most of the stuff I'm grading is going to be out of 10 for golds or rare for NASCAR. I'm sure I've graded a few other things, but that's mostly where I'm sticking. Actually, I've graded a few 2016 Prism, but that's kind of a different beast for grading NASCAR, which we'll get to later. But
Okay.
yeah, I grade golds. I've done really well with them. I've like you said, I can buy gold NASCAR prisms for $5, and I can grade them for 20 I'm in them for $25. I can't really lose on getting a 9, which is not as valuable as a 10 for those who don't know, but yeah.
Cool. Fair enough. So you're more focused on the SP slabs.
Say that again?
You're more focused on more short printy stuff.
Yeah, I think there's some room in the future to maybe experiment with stuff, but I kind of have the if it ain't broke, don't fix it strategy with grading stuff, and I've done well. I'm actually, this next order I have going out in a little bit, I'm kind of going to experiment a little bit. Like, I have from this 2022 Prism, Bill Elliott flashback, a rainbow, so it's out of 24. Decent enough name, lots of golds, some 2016. Also grading some, what is this number 2? A Ty Gibbs 2020 Prism rookie auto, number to 50, the pink. Sending that just because I believe in Ty Gibbs. Also have a Kyle Busch 2021 Spotlight Signatures that I'm going to send off. It might be on card. I can't tell.
Yep,
from this lighting.
should be on card.
Yeah, it looks on card. So different stuff like that. So I'm slowly branching out a little bit to experiment. But yeah, most of my order in there is going to be Prism Golds or like maybe some Chronicles Golds.
Excellent. Okay, I dig it. And that's running you what, $19 a card, since you are a what is it? What do they call it? The PSA member.
Yeah. So if you go on PSA, this is a little secret for those who don't know. So PSA's member grading is about $125, give or take. And I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant, like, I don't know if I want to spend $125, which is fair enough. But they have a special promotion they do with Loop, another breaking app. Not the biggest fan of that app, but they give you like a free $100 credit to breaking free stuff. So if you're basically going to break $100 of NASCAR at some point, you might as well just buy the PSA because they're going to give you $100 free to go break with. I think I got last year a 2022 Prism box. So I think I got like $125 free. So I was only in it for like at most 50. I think I was only in it for $25. So I got a Prism box for $25.
Killer
and I get
deal.
the PSA membership for better pricing. So
It's an awesome deal.
that's my cool. little PSA secret for those who are contemplating memberships. If you're going to spend money on packs, might as well just buy it.
Cool. And that also saves you about $6 a card then, in general, on the normal bulk submission, it looks like.
Yep, exactly.
So that stacks up as well. Cool. Good deal. So with that pricing, PSA you can expect on your bulk normal submissions anywhere from $19 to $19 or $25, not 2, but $19 or $25, depending on if you have the membership or not. That's where, subbing with a friend that has the membership is always a bonus. If you only have 2 or 3 cards, always good to branch out and network with your friends and your fellow hobbyists and find somebody you can submit with. That's always a little hack that you can use before you really get into it yourself. BGS, as of today, 9/26, BGS is $18 for their basic submission with subgrades and $16 without subgrades. So they're kind of right below PSA. And SGC, my homies, my preferred company, they just recently dropped to $15 a card that includes auto grading across the board. No matter if the card's worth $1 or 50 grand, it is $15 a card to grade that sucker. Now you might have extra insurance costs to ship it back to you if it's a super banger, but other than that, $15 a card. I personally love them. I'm big on customer service, and they have treated me like absolute royalty from day one. And I'm on submission number 5 currently going into October with them, and we've subbed over 350 cards this year. So they have always responded. They have always gotten back to me in a very timely manner, usually within 6 to 10 hours. It's crazy. Now, they are on the East Coast. I'm in Arizona, so they have a little bit of a time jump. But I've emailed at 1 in the morning, gotten a response at 6:30 a.m. my time, without hesitation. And, hey, if you have any questions, please respond, or here's our number, blah, blah, blah. Super good stuff. SGC I've used for a lot of baseball and a lot of racing. That's really all I've subbed. I subbed a little bit of hockey to them. I will say BGS, Beckett, they're kind of, I would say for the hockey market, they pretty much have that locked in or locked down. If you've got hockey, high end hockey, most of the time BGS, I would say most of the time it's probably going to rival a PSA 10, or it's a PSA grade of the same level, if not surpass it in the hockey world. I dabbled in hockey for a bit. I've never had anything decent enough to grade or need to grade or anything high. No McDavid Young Guns or Sid or anything like that. No Ovechkins. But if I did, I'd probably go BGS for the first time. That's something that would make me want to go there. When it comes to NASCAR, there's really only two specific cards, and then one type of card I would consider BGS for, and that would be like a 1972 STP set card, especially Richard Petty. That could be a good candidate for that. Sign of the Times autographs from SP Authentic, Dale Sr., those do tremendous value-wise with BGS, especially if you get a decent grade. And you get the subgrades, which is also another selling point when it comes to those super high-end Dale Sr. cards. And then anything with a dual or quad or octa auto, multiple autos, acetate autos from Press Pass, those seem to do super well at BGS. I've bought a few that had like a 7 or 8 grade, cracked them out, and was able to actually sell them for a little bit more. I've also bought some with perfect 10s, 9.5s, and those are sitting in my collection. So I'm not opposed to BGS. I've just never personally graded with them. But for those of you that do have some of those hidden gems, those super rare racing cards, that's definitely something to consider. What do you feel? Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, I've never considered Beckett, but yeah, there are a few cards I would send to them. It's tough because like a year ago, if you told me, I would have said to send like your thick NT to Beckett, but I'd rather just send it to SGC right now.
Agreed.
So I don't know what I'm sending to them. If you're new to grading, I think between these three to go to SGC for your first experience. I think PSA is kind of more for the experience. I don't know if that sounds kind of elitist, but I think you should be going that route if you've had experience. Go to PSA, but
no, you
just
gotta
starting
walk
out,
before you can run. That's valid.
Like if you don't know what you're doing, SGC is the perfect place to go. Their customer service is light years better than PSA.
And
I would expect that SGC's
the new app is
they have a new
fire, super good.
SGC is a little bit smaller, so I would kind of expect that. But yeah,
definitely
good. They're all they have their niches, some bigger than others.
Sorry, had to mute there for a moment. Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. So there's some tidbits about the big three. Again, there are other companies out there. And when you do go to choose your company, do your research for the first time. Don't just take what we say at face value. Don't take what everybody else is doing, because the consensus is PSA or die, or SGC or die. There's a lot of die hard, do it this way or don't do it at all people out there. And there's a lot of people that say you shouldn't even slab racing cards, which is beyond me. Still a trading card. Still important to assign a value to some of these cards. It definitely helps values. I can say I've definitely paid more for some graded cards than I would have raw, and I've paid less for raw based on certain graded cards selling, and I've also sold some raw cards for less based on graded cards selling. So it goes both ways. I always say you want to be around the comp. You don't want to become the comp. That's definitely something you want to stay away from. But always buy the card. Don't buy the grade. That's kind of been a big thing for me as well. So that'll be one of the last things we get into. But choosing your company, you can look at things called a pop report. You can look up your specific card with any of these companies and figure out how many have been sent and graded, how many graded a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, etc. So you might have a card that you think is perfect, immaculate. There's a pop report of 25 that have been graded. There's never been a 10 or a 9.5, and you think this is the one. I would send it there. If SGC is showing only 9s and 8s, give it a shot. Send it there. If PSA is showing all 10s and a 9, maybe you stick with SGC. Maybe you send it to PSA and shoot for that 10. But now you're going to be in a higher pop pool. It's going to be more of a common slabbed card out there. So when it comes to competition and selling, you're going to have a little bit more competition out there. I think the other two things And know if I'm off here, tell me. But I think the other two things to look at is your turnaround time, how patient you want to be, and the cost, how much you want to invest into these individual grades. So when it comes to group submissions, we always want to do it quick. SGC, if I send them a package on a Monday, they've got it Wednesday, it processes by Friday, and I have them back in a week. 5 business days. It's like clockwork for them. So there's no guessing. There's no delay. If there's an issue, one, they tell you about it. They're on Instagram in the morning. Say, hey, here's our issue. We switched facilities. We're a week behind. They keep you up to date. You get an email. They'll text you. It's just a really great process. I've never done anything with PSA, but from what I've heard, sometimes if they're delayed, they're just delayed, and you have to wait. You don't get those updates. So if you're diving into slabbing and grading as a newer collector or a seasoned collector that's doing it for the first time, sometimes a little bit quicker turnaround is obviously a little more satisfying. You can get to that finish line a little quicker. But those are the 3 big ones. And then, of course, use of the slab. What are you doing with it? Are you slabbing it to just flip it and sell it? Are you slabbing it because it's a PC card that you want to display easily and have encased so that it's perfect for the rest of its life? Those are some things to consider. Noah, did I miss anything on those?
There's one thing that I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I'll say disagree, I guess, just to get some discourse going. I've never been a firm believer in don't be the comp. I have been the comp many times buying cards. If you believe in the card long term, pay it. If you believe in the card, like I'll give an example. Like I bought, we'll just say there's a 2016 Panini Prism, like rare white. Okay, white number to 5 auto. I have a Joey Logano in front of me, so I'll just use that for example. If I give it a year or two, you're not going to find these 2016s. They don't exist. And if you're going to want one, you're going to have to pay for it. So with my Bubba collection, I have been the high price on comps many times. So be smart about it. But if it's that rare and it's that needed, don't be scared about that. But yeah, I think everything else you said was right on the head. PSA, their customer service is not what SGC's is. It is not very good at all. But everything else I like about them. Their slabs usually sell a little bit better, which is why you would want to go to PSA over SGC. But yeah, besides that, I think you kind of hit the hammer. The hammer on the nail.
Perfect. Good. I like that. Excellent. So the next thing I wanted to bring up is a little touchy, or it could be a little bit of a hot topic. There was a recent era of junk slabs, the COVID era, and the amount of cards graded between, let's just say, late 19 and end of 2022, really, to early 22. So basically like a 3-year span. People were opening packs and subbing hundreds, if not thousands of cards at a time, causing a massive backlog at PSA and everywhere else. But they were literally slabbing everything under the sun. And you can really get into some misleading sales if you're not looking at the card properly. There's a lot of stuff mislabeled on eBay. A lot of people are selling cards they don't really know what they are. There's a lot of cards that were slabbed that just have no business being in a slab. Base cards, base inserts, base. Stuff was getting slabbed left and right. Which
I've seen some horrendous, especially not as relevant to racing, but some of the basketball slabs I've seen. Why are you grading that?
Yeah. No, it's a good question because they thought they were going to get them back quick, but then they sat at PSA for 3 years and the boom was gone. And those cards they could have sold for $80-$90 are now worth $5. That's just how it is. You don't see that a ton with racing. I don't think racing caught that itch or bug then. The cards that did make it through ended up in a product called All Out Racing, a repack by Steel City Collectibles. And it's a 6-box case. You get 1 card per pack, and it was littered with these junk slabs of cards that have no business being in a slab or in a product that costs almost $100 a pack. I think it's like $84 or $50 a pack for 1 card. opened up two. Or I ordered 6 cases. We opened up 3. Or no, we opened up 2. I ended up sending 4 back. Or no, we did open 3. I sent 3 back, opened 3. And there was one good card in the case. And the other stuff was either a 2016 Prism Racing die-cut base card in a BGS slab with no subgrades, or it was a Topps Now card as a BGS 9. No, not a numbered card, not any, just straight trash. So those do exist. They are out there. And they do get stuffed in products, and you could get stuck with them. So buyer beware. That product, absolute garbage. Stay away from it at all costs, because you will find a handful of absolute junk racing slabs in that product. Not happy with it. It was not good. And the fact that they took the product back because so many people were complaining about it should say enough about it. So I'll leave that there. That can go die. But as far as what you should grade and shouldn't grade, these days a lot of people in our group have sent me a lot of PC cards, personal collection cards. They're not selling them. They have no intention to sell them. But if they needed to down the road, they know that having it slabbed could give them a good advantage down the road. So for them, like Michael has sent me a ton of great Alex Bowman cards, and they've done super well. A lot of 9.5s and 10s and 10 autos. They've done super well. Thick cards, thin cards, you name it. Prism, NT, all of it. And he's developed a really sick way to display them on a really cool case, something I haven't seen before. And these cards are, I know that he's not just slabbing them to sell on eBay, but he knows if he needed to, he's going to get a little bit more for it. Prime example, he pulled a Chase Elliott gold vinyl 1/1 rides auto out of 22 Prism, sold it raw on eBay. It went to an authenticator, which happened to be CSG, okay, Certified Sports Guarantee, a grader, got the card, and they declined it and said it had a bent corner. And I'm like, what? That card did not have a bent corner. There's no way. And Michael knew it. I knew it. Everybody knew it. So eBay rejected the sale, yanked the money back from him, sent him the card back. Excuse me. Had to cough there. And he got it back, and he's like, dude, can you please look at that? I said, yeah. So he sent it to me, and I'm like, dude, the reason they think it has a bent corner is because the back printing on it, it has this like swoosh design. I'll find a picture of it and put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. It has on the back of the card, it has like a oval that goes from side to side through the corners, like down and like exits the sides of the card. And it was just an absolute hair off of where it should be. So clearly it was more of anything a centering issue, where the design ended up being across the corner instead of off the card where it should be. So I get the card, I scope it, I put it under the glass, I clean it, and I'm like, dude, this card is not bent, it is not damaged. So we submitted it to SGC, and what do you know? It gets a 9.5 and a 10. 9.5 and a 10. Gem Mint 9.5 and a 10 auto. Perfect auto. And so we had that back in a week and a half. He submitted it to eBay. They submitted it to CSG, and they're like, no, there's no way. The card was damaged, blah, blah, blah. We're like, clearly it's not. So for those of you that buy cards on eBay, some of the authenticators are grading services. And CSG, who we mentioned earlier, that does grade cards, mainly they do TCG. I think they're mainly known for, like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff. But they declined the card saying it was
100%.
damaged, which is crazy. And SGC came through. I even submitted it and sent a note to them. Here's what happened, blah, blah, blah. If it's damaged, please let me know before grading. And they said, there's nothing wrong with the card. It's going to grading tomorrow. I said, perfect. This looks great. So all in all, you never know what you're going to get. And, for him, he was able to turn around and sell that card, I think for $75 more off eBay. And so he had no fees, no, none of that garbage to deal with, and made more money on it. So little success story, which we love to see. An unfortunate way it had to happen for him. There's a lot more work to sell that card. But that is a prime example of if you have something of value, don't be scared to grade it, especially a 1/1. A lot of people say don't grade them. I know you have your opinions on that. I've graded 1/1s. I've graded 1/1s for a lot of group members, and we've done really well with them. But a lot of people say not
Grade
to
your
do
one
that.
of ones. Grade your one of ones. I'm a firm believer in doing it.
Amen. See, we're on the same page. So when you grade them, if you're keeping them, it's in a slab. You can't worry about the damage. It's not going to sit in a top loader and worry about moisture or getting damaged in the box. And it displays really well. So definitely something to look out for. Now, have you ever cracked slabs, Noah?
Yeah, I've cracked about 10 to 15 slabs.
What have you cracked?
What have I not cracked? I've cracked a card in. Let's see. Oh, this is a card I cracked once and sent. It was a. There'll be a photo of it. 2022 Prism Dale Jr. Patented penmanships, numbered to 10 rainbow. I pulled it from the pack myself from the hobby shop. It went straight into a penny sleeve top loader, straight from the top loader to the card saver. First time I went out and got a 9, I wasn't happy. I cracked it, sent it off again, got a 9 again. So maybe there's something with it. I don't know if I'll send it a third time.
Penmanships typically is a centering thing.
And that's like, there's a little centering, but PSA's, the thing people will realize is that companies are more lenient on certain things than other companies. And PSA is pretty lenient on centering compared to others. So, I mean, it's off-centered, but like, it still looks like it's within their criteria. I sub for a friend as well. He does a lot of baseball. I've had to crack a lot of his, and we actually had a success story with that where he sent in a 2022 Bowman Max Muncy Orange Wave first, number to 25. It went to PSA, got an 8. And me and him both knew, like, there's no way that's, like, the printing on the card. That's not correct. So I cracked it for him. I sent it again, got a 10. So
awesome.
There was a nice profit for him. And that
good.
He's done that for a few cards.
That's a big jump from a 9 to a 10 on that.
Oh, 100%. I've had experience only cracking PSA. I have not cracked any other slab. I guess on another episode I could say how to crack them. I don't know if that's really relevant right now.
That'd be cool to do.
But yeah, I've cracked enough slabs where it's kind of, I can get it done pretty quickly, and I know for a fact I'm not going to damage a card doing it. So
awesome.
Yeah,
good deal.
I love cracking stuff.
Good,
especially for PC. I'm not sure if I've cracked any Bubba stuff. I have. Maybe I have. I just can't remember. I've cracked a lot of cards. I would say probably 10 to 15, and I don't remember them all.
Well, it's just part of the game. It's just part of grading. Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. One card, too, I'll give you another little success story. This was a crossover from PSA to SGC. And SGC, I've noticed from all the subs that we've done, they're a little heavier on the centering. A little heavier there.
Yeah, SGC's a lot more. They want good centering.
Correct, which I'm a fan of. This was a 2021 Prism Brittany Zamora Zebra short print, non-auto. It got subbed to PSA, came back a 6. PSA 6. And looking at it, when Sean sent me the picture of it, I initially knew it was a centering problem. I was like, okay, regardless, that thing is so off to the right. It was probably like 80, not 80-20, but like 75-25 to the right. It was clearly off-centered, especially in the slab. You can really tell.
Yeah.
He hit me up. He's like, man, I really love this card. I don't like that it's a 6, but since it did get a bad grade, I'd rather it be in a tuxedo anyway. So I'm like, okay, I dig that. Zebra in a tux. Sounds like a double win. So he cracked it, sent me the card. As soon as I put it under the scope, I found 3 fingerprints on it. And I asked him, I was like, did you use gloves to take this out, etc.? He's like, yep. I said, okay, so these aren't from you. So however it got subbed in the first place, it did not get cleaned properly. So there's a big one. There's surface, plus the centering. And then on the back, there was just a tiny, tiny little itsy-bitsy speck of goo. And I'm talking...
I'm also going to say PSA hammer surface, so that's very clearly why I got the 6.
I agree. Yeah, surface and the centering together, and then I flipped it over, and at the bottom of the card where it normally says, like, this autograph is guaranteed by Panini, like that part of the card,
Yeah.
there was just and I use a pretty hefty, not a microscope, but like a magnifying glass with a high intensity LED. And
Like a jeweler's loop.
yeah, similar. Very, yeah, not exactly, but pretty much. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, how did this not get cleaned? And he's like, oh, I just sent it in. It's not his fault. So I spent about 20 minutes getting that off of there. There was no dimple, thank God, from the slabbing process. So that was off. The fingerprints were gone. I said, man, I really think the only issue now is the centering. So let's send it. And I told him, I was like, if the surface is good and we got that goo off the back, you're probably looking at least an 8 on a good day. 7 to 8. He's like, honestly, I'm okay with that. I just want it in the tux. Well, it came back a 9.5.
Yeah.
And obviously we were stoked. It was a very generous grade. But maybe the centering was just enough outside, being too lopsided to get that extra ding. But clearly, prepping your cards and cleaning them is a big step. And if it takes you 20, 30 minutes, an hour to really make sure it's perfect, spend the time to do it. Because it could be the difference between an 8 and a 9 or a 9 and a 10. And if you're subbing a card, a big one, like that Max Muncy, what did that jump him up? $300? $200?
Couple hundred. Yeah, it jumped him up a couple $100.
Yeah. So that card wasn't being subbed for profit, but if he did go to sell it, he doesn't have to worry about being slabbed to 6 anymore. It's a 9.5. Almost mint. So
I will. I have a secret about SGC that people don't know.
Ooh, I'm all ears.
I am prominent, or not. I hate saying prominent, but like I know I've been around the F1 scene as well, and one of the things that is very evident in when you sub to SGC is that for people who know the F1 cards, the 2020 colored cards, they have a surface issue. Every color has surface issues on the back. It's like I forget what they call it, but there's a clear surface issues on the back on every colored card for 2020 F1. SGC is the only company that I know of that says if a card comes from the factory with a defect, like every of one card, they're not going to take that into consideration because that's a factory defect.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So if you look at 2020 Formula One, like colored cards, they are on average going to be graded a lot higher than PSA because PSA is kind of they don't care about that, and they want kind of uniformity across all of the cards and not within the set, whereas SGC cares about uniformity in the set. So like I said, if you look at 2020 colored F1 SGC, so don't basically my long story short is if you sub, yeah, no worries, I'll talk, but if you try to sub from SGC to PSA with that specific set, you are going to get hammered and you're going to lose grade and lose money. So don't do that. But
good to know.
That's something that the reason I bring that up is because maybe the zebras from that Prism year were all noticeably very off, or I don't know. But that's just a thing that could have happened.
Awesome. That's super good info. I had no idea. Love to hear that. It's another little bonus with SGC. Love it. So, with that, one of the things I wanted to bring up was HGA, hybrid grading
Garbage
approach.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Hybrid, otherwise known as hybrid garbage. I have never and will never sub a card to them, ever.
I have.
You have? How'd that go?
Yeah, like 2.5 years ago, maybe. I don't remember. That was in the dark. That was in the dark days.
The dark.
I don't sub
the
them anymore.
dark. Got it. Okay. What'd you send them?
Oh god, I sent some 2020 Formula One track tags just because I thought they would look cool in the slab. I have one; it does look cool. That's the only card I have from them. Then my my all-time bad sell was at the 2021 National. I found I guess it's some F1 talk, so I'll make it quick. It was a 2020 track tag Charles Leclerc gold, number to 50.
Ooh.
So people who know that's a really, really rare. It's like the fan favorite insert, and it's low number to 50. I got it for some absurd price. Like it might have been like $20 to $40 at the National in 2021.
Wow. Wow.
Unbelievable price. I subbed it to HGA, and it came back in HGA 9.5, which is their gem mint scale. So I got a perfect grade in HGA. I sold it, I think, like a day after I got it for a profit of, I don't know. I think I sold it for $300,
Dang.
which obviously that's a great flip for me. Only problem is about 6 months later, it was the year that Ferrari was looking really fast, and I'm pretty sure that same card probably sold raw for like $800. So, but that's I mean, that has nothing to do with HGA, but I am not a fan of, I mean, very rarely do I like their custom slab because that's their whole gimmick, and
Yes.
it really is a gimmick that you can get like custom artwork done in their slabs. I've done it for a few things, and I don't know. There's no uniformity. I don't like the slabs are garbage. Holding them in your hand, they're so cheap. I could literally break it in half, and that should not be possible.
Correct. Yeah, they're
I
very.
could just literally rip it in half.
The rigidity is not there. They don't have a good hand feel to them, like a Tux or a PSA slab. They just don't have.
They're way too thick, and they're not clear either. It's like
Correct. Yeah, there's like an opaque.
It's like you're looking through a faded window.
It looks like they put it on a piece of sandpaper and sanded down all the sides of the slab so you can't see through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as value goes, I've only bought one before, and I bought it because it was a one of one with the intent to crack, which I haven't done yet. It's just been sitting in a box. But I watched this card for 8 months, and I only want it because I have 4 of the other. It's a Crusade gold vinyl from 2021 Chronicles Racing. I was like, I want it. Kind of completes the deal. It's an Eric Almirola, and at the time he was like considering retiring, etc. So I was like, I'm gonna buy this. It was initially up for like $3.99 or best offer. I'm like, absolutely
No shot.
not, right?
Yeah,
But
no shot.
But I do watch a bunch of crazy stuff because sometimes sellers send out crazy offers and then you make a deal. And it slowly came down and came down and came down and came down. And I bought that thing for $65 out the door to my front door.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he had it at $149 and he sent an offer of $99. I sent a counter offer at $50. And he said, no, I'll do $60. And I think it was like $66 and change with the shipping. So pretty good day. But that's just HGA. If that car was raw, I probably would have paid $100 for it. As crazy as that sounds. I probably would have paid more. But because it was an HGA slab, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't add any value to me. If it was PSA 10, if it was a SGC, I would have paid more. That's just how I operate. And I have paid more, and I will continue to pay more for those cards because to me, that's like half the battle. I don't have to pay to sub it. I don't have to wait. I don't have to send it off. I don't have to worry about it getting lost. It's just done, and it's here, and I paid for it, and I'm happy, and it's a card I wanted. So definitely, you know, if you like them, use them. I'm not going to tell you not to. Are they bad people? No. Do I have a lot of experience using them? Absolutely not, but that's by my choice. So if you want to give them a go, give them a go. I do have a couple buddies that do have subbed some seriously high-end personal collection cards that I know they will never go. You could offer them 10 times what they pay. They're not selling them. And that's cool. Do you? That's fine. They do have a horizontal slab, which is unique but also odd. It doesn't really like look the best, but they do have that option, which I think is unique. But when it comes to companies that are a big red X, do not waste your money. Do you want to start this or should I?
Go for it. I couldn't care less about these companies. I don't even remember. I'm going to be honest. You told me them before we started. I don't even remember their names. So.
Golden Grading. Or as I call these companies, these are Bob's Back Alley Grading Companies. I don't understand it. And there are a lot of people that love them for whatever reasons, probably because it's dirt cheap. With the
this in the Facebook groups all the time. I know exactly the slide you're talking about.
They're littered everywhere.
I don't know what happened to them.
They popped up out of nowhere, and they're just.
I think it's just one guy who's trying to sell them.
Yeah, it's just I think it's 1 or 2 people that run this thing, and I see more and more on eBay like these golden graded pre-grade card saver cards, and it's like they're everywhere. They're littered in the listings. And then I go through and I look at some of these cards. I mean, some of these cards raw should be going for 50, 60, but they're selling for $10, $15 because they're in a weird slab. It just makes no sense. So I've bought a few to crack, and they crack so easy. I literally, I don't even have to prep the case. I just put a piece of tape on it, and I go with the vice grips, and it's out. It's very. I could probably drop the slab from like 10, 15 feet up, and it will probably pop open. Not particularly my cup of tea. So I would avoid that at all costs, especially now that SGC is $15. Go to SGC, $15. Auto grades are included. You don't have to pay for any upcharges. PSA, great option. BGS, great option. If you're gonna go there, you might as well go to CSG or HGA at that point. That's where I rank them that low. And then the other one, oh man, it just grinds my gears. There is a guy on eBay that lists cards in the description as BGS, Gem Mint 10, blah, 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 blah. It is not a BGS. It is not a Beckett grading service card. It is not. It is an all-out 100% scam to get you to click on it and think, oh, it's BGS. I want to buy it. If you don't look and you buy it, you have been duped. Not only are they severely overpriced single cards, it's not a real thing. This looks like a label that was printed on a 1997 inkjet with low ink, low toner, and slapped on the top of a card saver as a 10. They're all 10s. Every single card they have is a 10. It's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You get a 10, you get a 10. It's like Oprah runs this place handing out 10s left and right. It's ridiculous. And some of the cards in the pictures are even cut off to where if you don't open the thing and look at the picture and really get into it, you don't even know what it is. It's just outright scam, and it shouldn't be there. And I've messaged eBay about it. The seller, I've been blocked. I can't even purchase the items. I've tried to. They've got me blocked. I'm gone. Can't do anything about it. I have to use Amanda's account to even look at the stuff now. So make sure you do your due diligence. And when you go to buy a card, if you see a slab, don't shy away from it. Buy the card. If it's a 9, it's a 9. If it's an 8, it's an 8. If you don't like the grade, crack it out. But if that's a card you want and need, get it. Worst case, you have a slabbed card. But do your research, do your homework. That's all I'm going to say about that. There are some really bad scams out there. There are, you see these Facebook groups too, even in big sports groups with 80,000 people. So-and-so grading, blah, blah, blah. No, just stay away. I don't care if it's $5 a card. Just stay away from it. Your card's either going to get stolen, or they're going to get damaged, or you're not going to get them back in time, or they're going to hold on to them for a year. I just read a thing 2 or 3 weeks ago in the sports card scammer group about a guy that did a group submission through some no-name company in Timbuktu, got $4,000 or $5,000 worth of cards from people, and then they disappeared. Oh, they got lost in shipping, or the grader, they lost them on the way back. No, they're gone. They're stolen. You're not getting those cards back. So it is a dark part of the hobby. Scamming is out there, so just be careful. Do your due diligence. If you want to do a group submission, find somebody that you know and trust, that you can work with. We do group submissions as well. I know a lot of my group members I've known for 2 or 3 years. We've built that community where we know and trust each other, and we've all reaped the benefits. So just, again, do your homework, cover your bases. You don't want to get stuck out in the blizzard with you-know-what between your hands. So that's all I have to say about the negative sides. What else you got?
I don't know about grading per se. I got a few fun pickups I made.
What'd you buy?
I guess we can move to that. So I'll go over. Actually, before I go over my pickup, I wanted to go over a thing that I've seen on eBay trending recently, and that's 2016 Prism is booming on eBay. Those sales are going. An extinct product going for crazy prices. Who would have thought?
What have you? Yeah, 2016. I know the one that you lost out on, but what else have you found?
Yeah. So I lost out on for people who don't know, I was bidding on a 2016 Panini Prism Bubba Wallace camo auto. The camos are numbered to their door number. And of course, Bubba had to be driving the 6 car for Roush.
Yeah.
So there's only 6 of these cards, whereas some people have like 99 of these camos. So Bubba only has 6. One of them went up on eBay. I haven't seen one in 4 years. Since I've been starting to chase this rainbow, I have not seen one. So I was like, perfect, my time to own one. Same kind of process come up with the black out of 3. I was like, I know the deal. It's my card. I messaged the guy asking if he would pull it. He doesn't, and that's his right to not want to pull the auction because he wants to respect it. So no hard feelings to him. I was like, all right, I think I will pay more than the auction will go for, but it is what it is. And to my absolute shock, I got outbid right at the end of the auction when I submitted a price that I don't think had any business. I shouldn't have had any business winning it for that price. I was way over what I thought it should sell for. Yet I got outbid. So
What did it go for?
yeah, there's now. It went for $511.
Oh.
This Bubba, and to put it in perspective, I bought the black out of 3. For 1/5, I paid under $100 for the black out of 3.
Wow.
So, according to this comp, that black should probably close to $1,000 now. According to
Right?
that comp.
Absolutely. Man, I hate that
Which I
for
don't
you.
believe,
I
but-
hate that for you, bro. I've been in that boat.
is what it is.
It's
I mean-
not fun. It's not a fun
mean,
result to get, but I feel
It's
you.
it's not as bad because I still haven't seen the 1 of 1, and like until I get the 1 of 1, I'm like, it's different. Like once you get the 1 of 1, it's actively obtainable. You get the rainbow. When you don't have it, you're just kind of like, like I'm upset about it, but there will hopefully be another one. Second auction that I saw was a 2016 Matt Kenseth Rainbow Auto,
Oh,
number
Hall of
24.
Famer.
The Hall of Famer, the 2003 champion. And that went for $82, which I thought was very strong for Matt Kenseth. I know he has some collectors out there, but I mean, I typically associate Kenseth with the DeWalt 17 from Roush. And I would imagine a lot of other people are. And this was him and his Joe Gibbs Racing kind of 20, which I know some people like certain
Iconic.
uniforms, and yeah, they want the iconic stuff, which is fair enough. So surprised to see it go for that high.
That's a good sale. It's a good sale for Matt. I think he's one of those drivers that probably wasn't on a lot of kids' walls as far as posters go, or being hoarded by fans at the track, but he's definitely popular. And I know in our group, we've got a good handful of heavy Kenseth collectors. And I've seen a lot of his NT stuff start to go up. So maybe this is his time. Hall of Famer, the Matt Kenseth, starting to go to the moon. You'll love to see it. So that's awesome. Any other Prism sales from 2016 that you've stumbled across?
I don't know about 2016. Let me browse over to my eBay. There was one that I remember I saw that was interesting. There also might have been some that have sold recently.
There was one I was going to pick up, but I fell asleep. It was.
I'm just looking through some of my endings for what stuff's ended for, and I'm why did I not bid on some of these?
There was a gold
This is a sale.
Colin Cabre or Cabri, Chupacabra. How do you say it? Colin Cabre. I think it's Colin Cabre. I've been told that, Colin and Chase, it's Cabre, Cabre. I've been told it by multiple people. It's multiple things.
I don't know.
But I think it's Cabre. So Colin Cabre hit a gold auto to 10, and it was $20 starting bid, and I fell asleep on it like an idiot. I wanted it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's one other card that I bought, a 2016 card that I think it's gonna be really sneaky. I think I'm gonna make a lot of money on it.
What's that? What is it?
I bought a 2016 Panini Prism, Terry Labonte, the short print,
Texas
the short print,
Terry.
number 10. Yeah, Texas Terry, the gold out of 10.
It's gold.
So it's gold number to 10.
Which card is it?
Let me.
Is it
send
the
you
horizontal?
photo.
Is it horizontal?
Nope. I will send you this photo. See, this is fun that when we do this live, it's kind of like they're along with us, and they have to wait until I send it to you so you get a full context. Because this is since we don't do our planning. I sent that to you on Messenger, I guess.
Okay.
Let me send it in Discord.
No, that's
I'll
fine.
send it on Discord, right?
That works just fine.
I sent it on Discord, so whatever you find first.
Wow, it's
But
the
it's been on the screen.
portrait.
It's been on the screen for 30 seconds already. But yeah, so I bought the portrait, and when I tell you the price I paid, you're gonna be very upset you did not buy
I
it.
would have paid at least 40 for that. I would pay 40 for that.
Bought it for-
Centering looks perfect, and it's the Kellogg suit with the Kellogg's hat with the classic Terry scowl. I love it.
Yeah.
That's a good. What'd you get that for?
Sniped it for $25.
Dude, that's a good deal.
And to put it in perspective, his horizontal gold sold a couple weeks before for $125.
Wow. And that's the one of him in the car, right?
And that's one of him in the car. And I would
Yeah.
argue this one is the better one because it's the portrait. So
Yeah.
this one's going to be going to PSA.
Dude, that should, pardon me, that should gem. That looks good. That looks really good.
This is like the perfect card for me because these type of cards, these golds of like these random guys, my ultimate goal in NASCAR is for like each driver, I kind of have like one good card of them, right? Like these like guys who are my PC. I currently have a Rusty. I just am about to send another Rusty, a 2016 Prism Gold Rusty Wallace auto. I don't know. I think I sent you a photo of that.
Yes, you did.
A while ago. So that'll probably end up being my one Rusty card I have. So I have a 2021 Flashbacks Gold PSA
Nice.
10.
I like the
Rusty, I
flashbacks.
gotta
Those
sell at some
flashbacks
point.
are good. I like those.
They look really hot. So
Super solid.
yeah, this Terry will be joining that collection of
Sick.
a single random card, and it'll be cherished because 2016 gold prisms look phenomenal.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. Any other good pickups you want to bring up, or is that about it?
Yeah,
What you got?
I got one more pickup to share. This is a card that needs a lot of explaining to understand the significance of it. But it is going to be let me see what year this is to make sure I got it right. A 2007 Press Pass Burning Rubber Prime Cut, which is a race use win tire of Kyle Busch. I know some of the 2010 and 2011 product have these autographs, so it's like an autographed race use tire. But the thing that made this one really, really cool is that this is the first race using the car of tomorrow with the wing.
Oh,
So,
Bristol.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Bristol, the first ever race with the wing. So pretty iconic era for NASCAR, changing from that Gen 4.
And was that the
so,
Kellogg's
I thought-
car?
It's going to be the car. Yeah, it's going to be the Kellogg's CarQuest car
Ah,
when
okay.
he was still with Hendrick.
Sick.
So it's a 2-color patch. Love this card. Number to 25, and I got it for a whopping $5.
That's a great deal. That's cool. I love those. The race win tire stuff those are always awesome.
I just love some NASCAR history. So
I agree. And yeah, like you said, it's Bristol, that win, KFB, car tomorrow. There's a lot of pluses to that thing. A lot.
yeah, I don't think I have any other pickups. I have another pickup, but I'm gonna save that for next episode because I don't know how much I'm gonna get in between recording. So I'll
Cool.
at least save one.
That's fine. Yeah,
And,
I like that. I got a few
as
things on the way
as
too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, as a little sneak peek, I got a 1-of-1 auto for $30. So
Ooh,
we'll get
okay.
to that
I'm
next
interested.
episode.
We'll look forward to that. The one I have, I was able to acquire. It's a dual auto. That's all I'm going to say. I'll have it in hand here shortly. So it was a redemption. It is a racing card, and it will be here this Friday. So I'll have that on the next
Oh, good.
episode. I'll share that one with you. I think I probably overpaid a tiny bit, but it was right when they got released the redemptions got shipped out, and I just had to have it. So we'll go over that one. That'll be a fun one. We'll have some cool stuff for next
let me
episode.
breaking news for people who have, I don't know who's still listening. I should have brought this on the beginning of the episode, but if you have 2023 Don Russ 75th anniversary autos, I don't know if they're all shipping, but
Yep.
I know the Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the Danica have
All
popped for
are
me.
shipping.
Oh, perfect. That's what I would assume if
Yep.
both of them popped at the same time. So
Yep.
those should hopefully be coming in the next few days. Can't wait to see what they look like. I'm really confused by the set, to be honest, because the numbering of the cards is very odd. Like the card numbers on the back did not correlate to anything I could find.
It's because
But,
it's going to carry over into Chronicles.
That's what I assumed it was
Yeah.
going to do, but the card numberings were I don't know. That'll be cool.
But that's
I probably
why.
should have gotten all of them because some of them the redemptions are cheap. I might go buy the Tony on eBay because the Tony Stewart one's still relatively okay. I saw a good price for a Gordon that I should have picked up. Same with Petty. I wanted other stuff at the time. And I'm kind of kicking myself now, but
Well, I personally have been passing on redemptions because I wanted to see if they're going to be on card or sticker. My gut told me they're going to be on card because Natalie Decker signed her 75th anniversary cards for the Chronicles. She posted that to Twitter a month ago, and she was signing them on card in person. So
Natalie Decker has 75th greatest driver cards. What is going on?
Not 75th greatest driver, but the 75th anniversary set, the auto set. So it's not like a personalities or a race winning season set like the inserts are. This appears to be part of the auto set. So it should be 5 new drivers. I'm guessing it'll be 23 Donruss, 23 Chronicles, and then we'll see it for 24 Donruss, 24 Chronicles. I'm guessing it'll be a 20 driver set, would be my guess. It'll probably be like, maybe. I'd like to see at least 20, but if it's just 2 sets of 5, so be it. But I'm hoping that these, the Danica, Tony, Richard, Jeff, and Dale from 23 Donruss are on card, because that would be awesome. And if those end up being on card, I'm definitely going to go chase and grab a few off of eBay. But I didn't.
Yeah, if they're on card,
I just didn't want to gamble because if they're not, I'm just not interested. I got more sticker autos from all those guys than I care to have. I'd rather have some more on card stuff. So that's just my personal preference. Not knocking stickers. It's just part of the hobby. It is what it is. But if they're on card, I'm in, and it should be cool. So definitely excited to see those start hitting the mailboxes this week. I have a handful of redemptions. My Vinnie Miller shipped. I had a Bubba ship. I had a Bubba green scope from 2020 Prism get delivered to my neighbor. They're kind enough to never answer the door when I go over there because I have a FedEx photo of it on their doorstep with their rocks and door in it, but nobody will answer. And FedEx said, "Oh, we delivered it." I'm like, "You didn't deliver it to me." So now I'm in a big thing with Panini and them. They're trying to get it back or get it replaced. It's just a whole big mess. So, but yeah, redemptions are shipping. Very exciting. And one more bit, Sammy Smith signed with Junior Motorsports for next year, from what I've seen. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. That's a big move. I like that. So very, very excited for him. I think that'll be a good team for him to be on. I still believe in Sammy.
I have a hot take about it.
Let's hear it.
I think it's an awful move for Sammy Smith.
What? Why?
Unless he has a contract clause that he can sign with any team after a few years, the Chevy pipeline is so bloated already. He had a free Joe Gibbs Racing seat if he stays with Joe Gibbs. And he's passed up a seat to take over Truex in probably 2 years. For God knows where he's going now. God, if he goes like a colleague or somebody, that's a disaster. He had a Joe Gibbs seat lined up to be that next guy. Like I said, there could be a contract clause that makes this moot. But if not, he's now a Chevrolet driver. And I think it's a bad luck. Corey Haim, I think now. Or Swalich are going to be their Toyotas too.
Swalich is one to watch. So. Swalich is definitely one to watch.
Does he have cards yet?
No, not that I know of. No.
So when he gets some card, that's somebody I'm looking at. But yeah, so that's my hot take. I think for Xfinity, it's a lateral move. I think the car he's going to is about the same that he was in, to be honest.
Yeah, he'll do well. He'll do real well with Junior.
His Cup. So I'm worried about his Cup outlook because of it, but. That's a few years down the road.
Yeah, it's a ways down. We got a lot of drivers that are going to be exiting the Cup Series at some point in the next 3 to 5 years. So, we never know.
My only problem is if you're going to Chevy, you want Hendrick, right? Like that's where you want to go. There's no room at Hendrick. Chase is signed until 2027. Byron is going to probably re-sign next year. Bowman.
I mean, Hendrick is always...
He signed until 2026.
That's the big boy. But you also, Trackhouse, they're expanding. They're who knows where they are in 2 years. But they just
as a third.
I lost you there.
And they have Zane Smith as a third driver who's driving for Spire.
But just looking at the future, who knows?
See Trackhouse.
Who knows?
I can't see Trackhouse going to 4 teams.
You never know.
Like I said, he could go to colleague. Maybe. If you're giving me the choice between Gibbs and colleague, you know where I'm going.
Well, you never know. Chase may just stop racing and go snowboarding full time. Who knows what the future holds? The time will tell.
True.
Time will tell. But speaking of time, you guys have spent an entire hour with us, and it's been an absolute blast. This was a fun topic for Noah and I. We were very jittery or excited about this, as we don't want grading to be such a scary thing in the racing world. In the NASCAR side, Formula One is obviously A-okay, but when it comes to NASCAR, if you have questions, ideas, concerns, things else you want us to talk about, or you have questions about for this topic, just post it in the comments below. We've had a few cool feedbacks for some ideas for some episodes, so we're working on those. If you've been here the whole time, you're a GOAT. If you spent a little bit of time with us, you're a GOAT. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. It is free, helps the channel out, helps expand us out. And we will continue this series next week. This episode will go live Thursday afternoon. You'll be listening to this Thursday afternoon, and the next week episode is a mystery. We're not going to tell you what it is. We're just going to put it up, and you will get to see what it is when it gets posted. So with that, I will say thank you all. Noah, I appreciate your time, my friend. It's always a good time chatting with you. Do you have any last words for our loyal listeners out there?
Be excited. It's Talladega week.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. It's going to be a good time. Shake and Bake is back.
They are, yes, indeed. Priest and Chase.
It's gonna be a good time. Social media is gonna be popping this week, so we'll have plenty to dive into, I'm sure. So, you have a good evening, sir. I will talk to you later on, and everybody else, have a great evening, day, afternoon, whatever it is, whenever you listen to this, and we will see you next time.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.